It is your boy T with another Have You Seen That with T movie review, and today I'm finally reviewing Creator. And when I say finally, I mean that I made a video last week right after I got home from seeing the Creator, and I pretty much lambasted the movie for a lot of different reasons. And it took me some time. I didn't post the video because it was really negative. And I thought about the movie some. I actually watched a few other movie reviews and it kind of jogged my memory of some of the things I actually did enjoy with the movie. So I'm coming back to do take two. So the creator, right? What exactly is the creator of the movie? What I didn't know as I was watching the movie is this movie only took $80 million to make, which is insane for how beautiful this movie is. When I say this is a gorgeous movie, this is a gorgeously shot movie. Edwards really went out there and just used everything he could at his disposal to make this a beautifully made movie. I thought that this movie was budgeting around 150, maybe even $200 million, or how great it looked, how great all of the animatronics, just the VFX, everything that this movie had going for it, it looked well. It was well made. That's what I will say. Gareth Edwards created a world that we can live in, right? A world that was not our own, set in the distant future, maybe 40 years from now, in which there's a war between the AI and humans. And that's, the world that he built, right? There, beginning of the movie, there's this major calamity that happens with humanity and really kicks off that war. And that's told really well. I thought that the way they explained everything without having to go deep into it was told really well. How they shot the beginning of the movie, chapter one. And then after chapter one, it gets a little wonky, right? And this is where I have my major gripes with the movie. So going into chapter two, right? Going into the second phase of the movie, we are introduced into this world, and then we become introduced into our main characters. And that's where I think the movie lost some of its luster with me because I just felt that this movie was poorly written. Right? I felt like parts of this movie felt like it was wrote by AI for uh, us humans to not think that AI is as much of a threat as it actually is. That's what I got from, the second part of this movie. Like the AI is so undercooked in this movie. When coming from a movie like Ex Machina, where AI really scared me because of how like the moves that it made against humanity in that movie, you see that it is an advanced intelligence, right? Not just artificial intelligence, it's actually advanced. In this movie, the AI didn't feel advanced. They just felt like robots who quote unquote had a soul, which was another one of my, gripes with the movie was the religious overtones in this movie. I felt like there were parts of the movie where, the AI is teaching kids religion, which is okay, but then like the next scene, I understand it teaching kids religion, but the next scene, you have these AI monks and things like that, which I just thought was a little bit, out of tilt. But as far as like the actors in this movie, I thought that John David Washington was fantastic. Allison Janney was just fantastic in this movie. I enjoyed her character, as her being this grizzled military veteran who is out to save humanity at all costs and end AI at all costs. She was fantastic in this movie. Ken Watanabe was amazing in this movie, and Gemma Chan I thought was the heart and soul of the film. Even though she wasn't in the majority of it, I thought that her character, her and of course the child, I'm not exactly sure the child's name. I'm not going to try to butcher it, and I can't look it up right now because my internet's not working. Weird time, for me right now. My internet's out, and Yeah, I can't even look up some of the stuff that I wanted to look up. As far as names, I didn't write them down. But the kid who played in this movie was fantastic. I thought she truly was the heart and soul of the movie. Her and Gemma Chan kind of grounded it all. And John David Washington really gave a stellar performance. But I just thought the plot, there were a lot of plot holes, and there was just a lot of military moves in this movie that didn't make any sense. Like strategically, what the US was doing and what the AI were doing, they just didn't make any sense to me. I felt like they were made to move the plot forward, which all movies do. But like in sci-fi, you want your sci-fi to be a little bit smarter than you. You want to have to think while you're watching your sci-fi. And I was just waiting for the next plot hole in order for, something else to happen. And that's exactly what I felt a lot of this movie was. It was just plot hole central, and things were happening just to move the plot forward, and it didn't seem like it was happening naturally. Like I really felt like this movie was written by AI. Like a human, a real human didn't write this movie. And if it was, kudos to you, right? Kudos to the person who put this idea into the AI. But yeah, that was my major gripe with this movie. And maybe if I watch it two or three more times, which I probably will, because I want to get it. I wanted to love this movie so much, because of just the idea of it and just the way it was shot, just the way it looked. I thought it looked just brilliant. The fact they shot it on the FX3 is just, I mean, Gareth Edwards, you deserve any type of award you can get just in how this movie was shot and how it was directed. But as far as the plot, like I didn't enjoy the script. I didn't enjoy the plot. And a lot of things just coincidentally happened. And that might have been by design, but it didn't resonate well with me as I was watching the movie. I just thought I was watching, a sci-fi movie that could have been grandiose. It could have been greater, but it kind of limited itself with a just wonky and shaky script. But do I recommend The Creator? Yes, because I feel like this is a movie that is beautifully made, it's beautifully shot, and it should be seen on the biggest screen that you can see it on. And it's definitely worth your time. But I don't go in there expecting, Blade Runner, or don't go in there expecting, the Fifth Element, which is one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. It's not as smart as Blade Runner. It's not as fun as the Fifth Element. It's not, it's somewhere in between there. It's a very serviceable sci-fi movie, but I think I just had very heightened expectations because of the movie, and they were just, I was let down just a little bit with the script, which I didn't think. I thought the script would be the strongest part of it. And then the visual effects would be the weakest part of it, and it was just the opposite because Gareth, he squeezed every drop of juice out of that lemon he can get with that budget that he had. And it's so impressive that this movie was made on the $80 million budget with the actors and actresses that were in this movie. It's really impressive, how beautifully it was shot and how well it looked. The visual effects, like at no point in time was I drawn, taken away from the movie because of poor visual effects. I just thought it looked fantastic. So yeah, definitely kudos to Gareth Edwards and all of the actors in the movie. You guys did what you could with the script. Is it a masterpiece? No, but is it worth your time to go catch on a Saturday matinee or Sunday matinee? It's definitely worth your time to go see an IMAX on one of the bigger screens, the XD screens and things of that nature. So definitely, Creator, while it's not perfect, it's definitely a serviceable movie, and it's a good enough movie. It's not as terrible. I'm telling you, my first video review, I just dumped on this movie for like 10 good minutes, and I just needed to go back and process it. I think it was the budget that really made me understand what I was watching. Like that budget of $80 million, the fact that it was made for that, and the way it looked, and the world that was built, I'm really impressed. Really, really impressed. So yeah, that's my review of The Creator. Tell me what you thought of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you love it? Did you loathe it? You know, it was my first review. Was it a terrible movie? Let me know what you think in the comments. Definitely like and subscribe to the Have You Seen That with T movie review page. And definitely I'll catch you for the next one because Saw Patrol is coming up shortly.